Hey everyone, there's a new twist to the fraud alert scam, so I wanted to make an update video. If you guys haven't seen my first video on fraud alerts, you can go watch it afterwards. I'll put the link in the description below. Watch until the end to see the different methods to protect yourself. Now let's take a look at the story.
The woman in this video handing over her card says she saw a reporting on this and felt like she needed to speak up to keep this from happening to someone else. It started with a call with her bank's caller ID.
I was at home and I got a call letting me know that there was suspicious activity on my account.
Sure enough, when she looked at her online banking account, she found 2 fraudulent charges totaling thousands of dollars. That's when the scammer said they had to secure her account immediately.
Here's what I believed happened. The scammers put some large purchases on the card, fully expecting the transactions to fail. But because they knew the details of these failed fraudulent charges, they were able to contact the victim and pretend to be from the bank's fraud department. Knowing the details of these fraudulent charges add to their credibility when contacting the victim.
He went on to explain to me that due to the high amount of fraud that's been going on, that they would have to send a courier to pick up my card.
And within less than 10 minutes, that so-called courier arrived.
The gentleman showed up at my door and he had the passcode.
I have your access card here.
And unbelievably, I opened my door and gave him my card.
After the card is handed over, the scammer pulls out a pair of scissors, chops the card in half, and then puts her card in an envelope. The card's chip isn't damaged.
I really thought, because they were already in my account, they had my information, I didn't give them my address, they confirmed my address with me.
Now, this whole time, she's still on the phone with the original caller. But a couple minutes after she handed her card over, she gets fully locked out of her online bank account, losing access to it completely.
The scammers probably got a hold of the victim's credit card number, home address, and other details from data breaches in order to pull the scam off. With the card in hand, they are now able to make purchases in person, reset her online bank account's password, and possibly initiate bank transfers. These criminals are smart. They would have researched various methods of getting money out of this card for this specific bank, so they know what information they need to get to make these transactions. A scammer will always pick the easiest targets, so one way to prevent you from being targeted is to add layers of protection between you and the scammers. First, you need to create complicated passwords and use unique passwords for each site. I typically use strings of random words that mean something to me and replace certain letters and numbers with special characters. Do I memorize each and every password? No. I wouldn't be able to even if I tried. I use 1Password to keep track of all my passwords and important information. You don't need to use 1Password. There are many password managers out there to choose from. I chose 1Password because it has a great mobile app, a Google Chrome extension, and you can install it onto your computer locally. So I'm able to use it to autofill all my passwords without requiring to remember any of them. Well, you still need to remember the main password for your 1Password account. My second recommendation is to enable multi-factor authentication. I know it's a pain to deal with it, but it's better than the alternative. Just remember, SMS code is the weakest multi-factor authentication, but it's better than nothing. You can also use 1Password to help you autofill your MFA code if the site supports it. If you guys want a video on how I use 1Password to make all this less painful, let me know in the comments. The third recommendation is to stay on top of your credit report. Lots of credit cards now offer free credit report. I would suggest signing up for a credit report and make sure you have credit alerts enabled. My bank will email and text me if they discover something new on my credit report. You can also lock your credit by contacting each of the top 3 credit bureaus, so that way no one can open any credit accounts with your identity. My last recommendation is to never use your debit card to make purchases. Once the money is out of your account, it'll be hard for you to get the bank to reimburse your money. If you make purchases using a credit card, they typically have a zero liability fraud protection, which means you are not responsible for any fraudulent charges. Most banks will either place a fraudulent transaction on hold or remove them completely so you don't have to pay for them while they investigate. Let's make it harder for these hackers and scammers to get your money. Share this video with your friends and family. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video.